her back in
What is saying there?
Okay, I want to add something to legislative things, something that I think that we need to do legislatively, which is kind of piggybacking on what Martin just said. And I'm going to tell you a little personal story first. I think it was not last summer, but the summer before, and through part of the winter, my husband and I don't remember how many people, half a dozen other people, volunteered their time into what they called a grant handbook committee, which MSA devised because we were having the grant sponsors were having some issues with the rules in the grant handbook and how that was making their administration awkward. So they put this committee together to get together and look at the handbook and say, okay, let's suggest some revisions. He and all the other members, how many were there, Don? 6?
7 of us.
Drove downstate from wherever they came from. He drove downstate once and twice a month for like 9 months. For no refund, no reimbursement at all. All the gas, motels, food, everything, all out of us, okay? And all those people, individual, all volunteered, got together and put up a list of, went through the handbook, page by paragraph, and said, this is what changes we would like to see in order to better administrate our programs locally. They gave that to Bill and Jim and the other guy who was the SAC committee members. I don't know everybody's name, I'm sorry, I'm not good at that. They gave it to the SAC committee members who in turn took it to the SAC committee meeting and said, look, these are some changes that our grant sponsors would like to see. And they negotiated, and they negotiated, and they negotiated for what seemed forever. And they finally got to the point where they thought they were getting somewhere, where the D&I guys were doing the bobblehead thing, right? And then the new grant handbook showed up, like, right before your sponsor,
September.
yeah, okay, right before you got ready to sign your grants, right? None of the changes were in it. None. And when they immediately called and said, what's up? What about all this talking we did all summer and all spring? What happened to that? Well, ultimately it's our decision, they said. Now I have to go back, I forgot one little thing. It was my impression, and I was told by my husband, that Lansing was the one who developed the SAC committee years ago to ask for our advice to give to the DNR so they could better make the program better for snowmobilers. And so the SAC committee was doing that, and when they took all that advice and used none of it. So then they're on the phone and they're doing the backpedaling thing, and they conference calls and emails and everything, and they got it to where it was livable so that we could sign grant sponsors, and hopefully they could come back again this year and fix it. So to piggyback on what you're saying, getting all the right people in that SAC committee might not matter 2 bits of nothing.
Might not make any difference either, yep.
Because ultimately, if we can't get legislation to prove that our vote's going to have some point, all that time and money is wasted. So I would like to put on the legislation list to be able to get our SAC committee members' votes to count for something. Other than
Lip service.
thank you.
This is a farce.
Thank you. Lip service. That's the terminology I was using.
Power of association. It's on one of those handouts. It's a great little phrase. The power of association. You get up to 150,000 members, they're going to listen. Because that many more people will be contacting their local legislators, and they're going to be hearing about it over here.
You know who I am, and you also know that my job is on the block as far as the Snowmobile Advisory Committee goes. I'm going to tell you a couple things. I moved over here from Wisconsin in '89, and I knew a guy on the Natural Resources Commission. And he got so tired of me bitching
Or
about
can you
the
talk
trails
louder?
over here.
We can't hear you.
He got so tired of me bitching about the trails over here. He said, you want to be on the damn committee? I'll fix it so you can help with the trails. I've been on the committee ever since, and I have to tell you guys, I don't care what happens in the fall. It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. And I appreciate all the cooperation we've gotten from everybody. I really thank you guys for that, because I've met more nice people and had more friends, and I hope to continue. I've spent a lot of time and hours on this, as you have. And I'm not patting myself on the back. I just want you to know that this committee really does work hard for you guys. We put in a lot of time, a lot of our own money, just like you guys do when you're out there grooming. So, you know, whatever happens, happens. But if I don't get a chance to meet you all again and tell you thank you for all the good times you've given me, and I hope it continues.
I don't think I need that. I'm going to say a couple of things, and I've been working at this for quite some time. I've been involved in the handbook. I've been involved in a lot of things in this snowmobile program. I think we need to do something and put pressure on somebody. These suckers in Lansing are hell-bent on bankrupting us. We need to turn around the payment time. And it comes under funding, but our money is being held 60, 90 days, 120 days, just because somebody doesn't like the way we wrote things. We need, as a group, to get down to the basics. 10-day turnaround on our money. That's bullshit. The 60, 90, 120 days. Some people sat in this audience today and told me they haven't been paid yet for stuff that was done in December. Jeez. That's wrong. They want to bankrupt us. We get a fuel dump. It costs us $4,000 to buy our fuel the first of the season. We don't see that money this year until February. We need, as a group, to stand up and tell Lansing that we need a direct turnaround on this stuff. It's our money. Thank you.
You do that as a powerful association. Right over here. Yep. It's working again.
Okay, folks. Well, I don't want to change the subject too much here, but you guys are all bringing up good points. But without numbers, we're not going to get the legislators to do and get what we want. We want voice on the SAC committee. We got to get legislators to go to the DNR and say, hey, you're going to put these people on the SAC committee, and they're going to have a voting right to it. How do we do that? Membership. How many people in this group have members that are under the age of 28 in their clubs? Can you raise your hands? Got a few. Anybody under 24? Okay, we'll get a little less, but all right. I'm going to issue a challenge, and I'm going to start the seed today. The challenge is that every one of you people out here go and mentor one young person. If you have to, pay their membership to the club, to your club. Get them involved in MSA. One person, that's all I want you to do. Take out one person below the age of 28 and get them involved in your club. Here's the seed. I've got my first one. He's under 28, and he's signing up today to be a lifetime member. Hey, it's a start of a new day, right? We're building a foundation for a greater future for MSA and snowmobiling. There's tons of issues to deal with. It's going to take a lot of people, a lot of human resources. We got any more? Yo, I've been waiting for this one.